Live from the Kansas Speedway, we welcome race fans one and all back to Green Flag TV, where tonight we get set to kick off race number 8 in the L-TAC All Street Media Cup Series. Hello one and all, and welcome to the show. My name is Little Rambo, bringing you all of the coverage here tonight from this 200-mile race, 134 laps around this absolutely beautiful facility in the Prairie States. It's going to be a fun race tonight. Kansas Speedway, long been known to be among one of the fastest and one of the most treacherous mile and a halves that you can go to on the NASCAR calendar. So you know that means we are in for a good show here tonight. Take a look at the championship order entering race number 8 on the season. Sean Deal still with the top spot in the points. Well, now with the top spot of the points, although he is sitting a bit further up ahead of Holden McGill, and I do believe that is a bit of an error on our part there. It looks like Holden McGill, though, should be the points leader ahead of the likes of Spencer Ray. But you can tell that these guys, again, they are ready to do battle for some great racing action here for us tonight, and it's going to be a fun race for everybody involved. 134 laps, I don't think anybody ever complains about that around the Kansas Speedway, and as you overlook this mile-and-a-half facility, you can tell we're going to be racing into the dusk. Time sitting just past 8 o'clock, almost 8:30 in sim time. Those stadium lights will be flicking on any second now. And in fact, I believe they just did flick on. And it's a cold track. 69 degrees Fahrenheit means it's going to be incredibly difficult for these drivers to get those tires up to temperature and into a proper working condition. So, with ourselves trying to get things sorted here for qualifying, let's take a ride on board with one of these drivers who will take you for a couple of laps around the Kansas Speedway. Scott Lamp, going to find the wall on the outside for his second lap, but you could tell how much wheel work was going into keeping that number 2 Mustang pinned down to the racetrack. You look to the likes of Barron Morton in the Riley's Row 6 for cystic fibrosis. Number 9 Chevrolet Camaro working around the top side and down the American Ethanol backstretch into turn numbers 3 and 4, ripping the high side of the racetrack where all that speed is. Morton looking to put down his first qualifying lap here of the session, and he'll come across the start-finish stretch this time by, and he'll be good enough to put himself into the number 5 spot. So a good effort there for Bear Morton. Will put that 9 car right where it needs to be. Now you look up to the lights, Nathaniel Ames in his Green Flag TV Camaro. He didn't put down a lap on his first attempt. He's going to still work at it, though, as he'll fire it down into turn numbers 3 and 4. So far, out of the 25 cars that are scheduled to start tonight, only 11 have opted to put down qualifying times here so far. We'll make that 12 this time by as Ames crosses the line, and it'll only be good enough for the number 10 spot for Nathaniel Ames. Bear Morton, in the meantime, puts it on the front row. He'll go with a 30.842. Now we'll watch Spencer Ray as the Busch Light Chevrolet Camaro comes across the line. Was in 7th. Will it be an improvement? It will, by just a little bit. He'll put himself on to row number 3, down in 6th. And at the moment, looking to be the last of the cars that were out there trying to put down qualifying laps, as everybody else is still in pit road and has not opted to put down a time. So with 10 seconds on the docket, we'll only have 12 out of the 25, 26 cars putting down qualifying laps. That's very unusual, right? We're not used to seeing so few drivers putting down times, but we'll see what this will mean as we'll get set to go racing here tonight. Qualifying is complete. We'll take a rundown of your starting grid here for round number 8 for 200 miles or 134 laps around the Kansas Speedway. Lucky draw number is number 7 here tonight. Starting on the pole, you've got Holden McGill with Bear Morton beside him on the front row. Josh McDougall will be down in 3rd with Ryan Dingler in 4th. Frank Flores is back in 5th, Spencer Ray in 6th, Jeffrey Souza, the lucky draw driver, going to be in 7th. He needs to win, and he'll get 3 extra bonus points then on the night. Matt Cherry will get 8th. Scott Lamp and Nathaniel Ames round out the top 10. Anthony Bussati and Austin Gassione will be the last 2 cars to put down qualifying times here tonight. From there, you'll have Kyle Green, Brian Huntley Jr., Grant Peterson, Jeffrey Brogdon, Josh Small, Stephen Purcell, George Rincon, Nate Brooker, Justin Wilson, Devin Pirog, Aaron Bradford. And then rounding out the 25-car field, you'll have Chris Campbell in his KBM Motorsports number 68. So that is it then. All drivers are gridded on up and ready to rumble. Let's give a moment here to shout out the folks that helped keep the lights on here for the L-TAC Cup Series. All Street Media, the title sponsor for season number 5. All Street Media is a small media platform specializing in photography and live streaming, mainly focused around no prep drag racing, and soon will be expanding to dirt racing, NASCAR, superbike racing, and more. Their mission is to provide smaller racing venues with the opportunity for public exposure and to help keep small-town racing circuits and also small-town drivers doing the things that they love. Find out more by visiting them on their Facebook page. You can find a link to that down in the description below. Mostly everybody is gridded on up and ready to rumble. We'll take a rundown of the driver in the number 14 car here, going to be starting this race from the number 7 spot down on the inside of the racetrack on row number 4. See if we can't get in touch with Jeffrey Souza here for a quick moment as we roll out from pit road. Jeffrey, this is Nolan Rambo up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Nolan. How's it going?
Oh, it's going just fine up here. Track temp is cold. You're the lucky draw driver. It's going to be loose out there and a difficult running for the first few laps. What are you going to have to do to survive the start of this race?
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to take care of the tires, be smooth on entry and exit. It's easy to burn the tires up here. I think you're going to see a lot of guys that are going to go outside quick and try to just keep the momentum going. I think we're going to probably just stay to the bottom and take care of our stuff and try to be there when we have to win this race, which is, lap 134, not lap 1.
Well, we'll see if you'll be there at lap 134 at the end. Thank you for joining us up here in the broadcast booth. Good luck out there on the start.
10-4, thanks.
That was Jeffrey Souza starting for the number 7 spot here tonight, and he's your lucky draw driver, so he's got to take that race win, and he'll get himself with 3 extra bonus points. Meanwhile, Holden McGill works out of turn number 4. He'll enter the restart zone. Green flag is up in the air. We're racing from Kansas Speedway. Trouble on the backstretch already. Nathaniel Ames slides down to the inside. He'll spin that that machine out, and we've got a couple of cars that are parked up in turn number 3, and that will bring us out for caution flag number 1. Holden McGill has the race lead at the end of the opening lap, but what a way to kick off racing action as the pace car will leave pit road. I imagine it was a loose racetrack, and you saw first Spencer Ray go around, and Nathaniel Ames followed suit just moments later. Take a look back. This is Spencer Ray spinning to the inside, keeps it off of the inside wall. Fantastic driving, and he unfortunately slammed into the side of Nathaniel Ames. Big trouble for that number 40 car. That is a huge shame. Ray did a phenomenal job to keep that car off of the bottom. We'll take a look back on now what happened to Nathaniel Ames. Middle of the straightaway, lost out of turn 2, slipped back up. We got some help there from Brogdon, and then nothing he could do. Slid right across the nose of Spencer Ray. We'll get one look again from the air this time by, as this was working off of turn number 1, and right there you saw just losing it all by himself, and that is a tough break. Oh, that's a nasty clothesline hit as well. Take a ride on board with the number 6 car here and watch this amazing piece of driving working out of turn number 2 to the backstretch. Loses the back end. Throttles it up to get it off the inside wall, but unfortunately here comes Ames, and no idea that he was coming down there. No time at all to react to that situation. On board with Brogdon, got a face full of this mess, and same story. Ames just got loose, unsettled on the apron, and then I did a good job to slow it down. That could have been worse, but still some damage on the right front now of that Monster Energy number 11 as he'll leave pit road. Once again, the track temp entering tonight, only 69 degrees. It is frigid out there in comparison to what you usually run. For reference, a hot track is considered to be anywhere above 110, 120 thereabouts. Realistically, you want to have the temps anywhere between 90 and 100. That tends to be optimal track temps. So this is far from ideal. This is about as worse not as worse, about as bad as the track can be for these guys, especially on cars that are so naturally loose as they are. Lights out aboard the iRacing pace car. We'll go green flag racing on lap number 4. Holden McGill will be down on that front row. Nathaniel Ames still stuck in the pits, and I'm willing to bet he's got mucho damage on that number 40 car, as he took a hefty whack right to the driver's side door, and that's going to effectively put Ames out of the running order early on. Holden McGill will work into turns 3 and 4 alongside the number 9 Chevrolet. We'll get back to green flag racing this time by. Into the restart zone. Green flag's up, and we are underway. Ryan Dingler immediately picking up the number 2 spot, bumping Bear Morton down to 3rd as we hightail it down the backstretch this time by. McDougall just behind, trying to make a lunge to the inside, and you've got the 0-2 of Scott Lamp trying to make it happen down the bottom this time by as he'll track up out of turn number 4, and Scott Lamp will take that 2 car to the point of the Ford Mustang as we are double file back for 4th. Holden McGill trying to maintain his run up with that race lead head of this field. Ryan Dingler, Barrett Morton. Caught in the fray behind. Souza bobbles out for 7th, able to maintain control. Dingler up to the top shelf now. McGill on the bottom. McDougall trying to find his way down on that low side as well. And the 45 running the middle line will shift that to the top as Dingler pulls clear for third. Oh, McGill into the outside wall out of turn 2. Here comes Dingler and Barry Morton 3 wide for the lead. Down to the turn numbers 3 and 4. That is brave. Not even 10 laps deep into a 200-mile race. Ames back onto the racetrack while McGill able to pull clear for the lead from the top shelf. So the 21 car once again maintains that momentum from the outside. And he'll thunder clear down to the turn 1. Dingler made it in the 10, and I think Barry Morton kind of upset that attempt when he took it 3 wide down the bottom. Top lane, though, it's where you want to be. And I'll tell you what, McGill just proved that here tonight. Watch that Hexarm Digital number 8 Camaro as they work off of the top side of 3 and 4, thundering in towards turn 1. The top 9 packed up by less than a second as we dive into turns 1 and 2 for the 9th time tonight. Looking for the lead around the top goes Ryan Dingler, trying to steal one away from McGill, and it looks like he may very well have him. McGill trying to look back for the inside, but it's not going to happen. Dingler pulls clear from the top out of 4. Ryan Dingler with the race lead behind. We're 3 wide in the tri-oval. Kyle Green way down on the bottom. He's trying to fend off Rankin, Ray, and Musati all at the same time. Trying to fight for spots. Spencer Ray collected that lap 1, turn 2 calamity. But is doing a fine job on keeping that 19 car situated. Three wide again out of turn 4, and Spencer Ray pushing the 15 car up towards the outside wall, but able to keep it out of the wall. As boy, it is busy right now at the Kansas Speedway. It's leading pack still tucked up line astern as we send it into turns 3 and 4, working out to the front stretch. You can see where all the battle packs are. 1st through 9th, breaking away from 10th on back. Further down the pack, Stephen Purcell losing a handful of positions as Jeffrey Brogdon and the 67 of Josh Small will fire through. Up the road, Ray and Green running door to door down to the 3 and 4. Spencer Ray up on the top shelf, Kyle Green down to the bottom. Anthony Musati now under fire as well in that 49 car as Ray trying to open up the outside line. Sends it in. Larson lining it around the outside and using that third groove, pulls well clear of Musati by the time they exit 2. Matt Cherry, meanwhile, still fighting it out with Scott Lamp as, again, these guys do not know when to quit, and Lamp trying to punch his ticket up into the podium positions here. It's a tough drive, though. Matt Cherry will work around the top, and Jeffrey Souza goes with him. Seems like we got that the loose moments out of our system on that opening lap, as now we will settle into a green flag run, but a very intense green flag run at that. Stage lap, remember, not until lap 67 when the top 10 will be awarded in the running order. It's not going to stop these guys from duking it out with every spot they got, but that means that Ryan Dingler, slowly but surely, starting to pull away. He's now clear by 5/10. And that is a growing gap as Cherry and McGill, Badger Racing teammates, are still scrapping it out for the number 2 spot. Jeffrey Souza looking to make ground early on, sends it around the outside, and the number 14 car will drive it in. Puts that car around the outside line. Matt Cherry, in the meantime, going to continue to scrap it out for that final podium position with Holden McGill, but now Souza clear to run down Dingler. Further behind, George Rinkin has started to pull clear the rest of this field. Devin Pirog, Sean Deal, Brian Huntley Jr. all in the fray. Deal working to the inside line. And Pirog trying to pull clear with that 16th position just up the road. So the battle's kicking off all throughout your field. It's among one of the last actual battle packs you have throughout this field, and they're scrapping it out just as hard as the top 9 are. Frank Flores has slowly been working his way up towards this leading group, and now is battled it out with Spencer Ray as Flores will push through in the 9th. Good driving there for Flores to try and make something happen. Oh, trouble for Rinkin as he is slow through 4. So something going awry for the number 15 car. To drop to 23rd. Let's take a look. This is coming through 1 and 2. Has he gotten loose potentially? He's got Devin Pirog right behind him. Oh, boy. He did get some help there. That's why he was so slow. Drifted up, nearly took out Josh Small. But able to fend him off. Now fighting it out with Brooker for the last spot on the lead lap. Meanwhile, Holden McGill. Oh, trouble! Lamp into the wall. Bobbles big time off the top, able to recover. But Scott Lamp now could have a bit of a scratch on that right-hand side. Cherry may have got one right there as well as he found the outside wall in turn 4. The speeds are immense at a track like this. Top speeds exceeding 200 miles an hour. More than you can get in a single car draft at Daytona. Cannot emphasize just how rapid these cars are. I mean, right now at the line, Dingler hitting 185. McGill looking to the bottom, trying to pick up a spot from Matt Cherry behind Flores. Still finding that with McDougall. McDougall here as he'll dive into turns 3 and 4. And even further back in the pack, Deal, Brogdon, Pirog, all still packed up line astern as well. Oh, hard into the outside wall goes Sean Deal, and has that just broken the B&H 44? Not looking like it. He's still staying on the racetrack, although with some slowed pace. We'll see if he can bounce back and recover. Fights on for a second. Souza and Scott Lamp starting to do battle as they've all been catch up to Ryan Dingler. Can't fight it out too much, though. Remember, you're still trying to catch that number 8 car. Souza potentially burning his equipment up early on, though, as he's going to be to the inside of Holden McGill on the backstretch. Now goes from fighting the second to fighting for fifth. And that inside line not helping matters either. And Souza hitting pit road. So Jeffrey Souza takes his number 14 car into the pits. Meanwhile, battles on for the lead. Scott Lamb to the inside. Trying to pick it up from Ryan Dingler, but Dingler's got the top shelf. Top shelf where you want to be if you want to try to defend a move. Count on Lamb, though, to try to put up a fight, though, as he'll work to the inside. Dingler still clear with that top lane and with the lead. Looking back to the battle for ninth between Kyle Green and Josh McDougall. So they work out of turn 2. Down the back stretch and into 3 and 4. And Green holding strong as he'll take over the 9th spot, it looks like, from the 45. All right, so we're picking the battles up. These are for the last few stage points up for grabs. We're approaching that halfway point in stage 1. You can see Anthony Musatti waiting in the wings. He's trying to see if he can't find a way through. Musatti to the bottom, picks it up from McDougall as they'll start to work their way back to the tri-oval and up through the field. It's all about the battles throughout the mid-pack as everyone here with the potential to have a huge impact on this race depending on how they drive early on. Wilson into the wall. Watch for Sean Deal as he almost drove down across the nose of the 44. Lap slowly but surely ticking away. Here, once again, the battle for third. Cherry, McGill, Peterson, Morton, all tucked up nose to tail. Still, with nobody able to really make much ground, we really have settled into the general rhythm now of this race. As Holden McGill will keep that car running down on the low side. Bear Morton and Grant Peterson just in behind. Josh McDougall hitting pit road here. And he's not the only one. Devin Pirog in from behind, and Pirog may be in. I think he was in too hot. So we may see Devin Pirog here with the speeding penalty take a ride on board with the 36. It's a tough pit road to get down, and oh yeah, way too hot. So Pirog will be down and out early on as he'll get those left sides changed, but he is not going to leave. Josh McDougall, 4 tires and fuel. He's off and away after sitting in this box for 14.1 seconds. Or 14.2, pardon me. Whoa, boy, Ray. Way to the inside. Goes to the switchback on Baron Morton. Cherry finds the outside wall. Lets Grant Peterson through. Right, kick off the average with 100 laps to go. Pirog finally leaves after having to wait 54 seconds in the pits, including his service. Will drop down 2 laps. Here we go, 3 wide. Green on the bottom, Cherry up top with damage. Spencer Ray in the middle. Cherry's hurt. You can tell that 84 car is not running well at all. And he may very well have to take that quick repair that these guys have access to once he makes it to pit road to get that damage fixed to make sure he can still be competitive later in this race. Sure enough, there goes Frank Flores to the inside. Chris Campbell has been slowly making his way up to the field as Campbell now plus 15 positions on the day. He punches his way into the top 10. Looking for some good stage points. There's Jeffrey Souza. Made a very early stop, only took 2 tires in the box. And Souza now trying to run down this field on fresh tires. Justin Wilson losing a couple spots as he's in the thick of a fight with Rinkin, Purcell, and Deal for 17th on back through 20th. At DuPont Camaro work at the top side of that 15 as we fire it off at turn 4. And again, a near miss with the outside wall. Purcell breaks clear of Sean Dio from the inside. Not something you see all that often this deep into a green flag run. Matt Cherry becomes the next driver to hit pit road at lap 39. Cannot say I am very surprised. Look back up to the fight for 4th on back. Grant Peterson, Bear Morton, Kyle Green, Anthony Musatti, Spencer Ray. Still condensed in their own little battle pack. You start lap 40. Kyle Green looking to the inside of Morton's number 9. Cannot get there. Bear Morton hanging on for that 5th spot for the time being. Cuts across the nose of the Camry. Huntley and Campbell, meanwhile, they're scrapping it out for 10th and 11th. This is for the final stage point up for grabs. Huntley way to the top, but Campbell has been charged ever since starting. Stone dead last in this race. And he's looking to finish this one off with some stage points in the back pocket. Sends it in deep in a 3 and 4, but he's also got a charge in Austin Gassion from the inside. Curious that Gassion's been so far back. He's a driver we've been used to seeing fighting for spots up to the front this race, but opted not to take a qualifying lap. Started this race from way back in the field and has been slowly picking his way through as well. Oh, my apologies. He was he was actually the last car to put down in qualifying lap. Campbell into the wall, and that'll hurt his chances as he side slaps it twice. So Gassion will now fight it out with Huntley. But again, Gassion started in 12th, right? And we're not used to seeing him start this far back down the field. He's been struggling to work his way up. I mean, he fell down a good ways, and now he's been on a recovery drive ever since. Peterson, Morton, and Green. And now Musani looking to get into the mix as well as we dive it into turns 1 and 2. Working the back stretch. Kyle Green to the inside. Tracking up out of 4, and oh boy, Peterson just able to find a hole between Musatti and Kyle Green to tuck into, but that's going to allow Musatti to attack from the top shelf. That outside lane making me very, very powerful. This is the definition of a multi-group racetrack, and one that is very top-line heavy as we see Musatti break past his teammate and into 6th. Peterson going to try to battle back to the bottom. Well, able to get some momentum rolling, but it's not enough to remain side by side. Musatti clears as we work the tri-oval. Cameron Bradford and Stephen Russell side by side. And then you got Frank Flores as well as Jeffrey Brogdon and Brian Huntley. Ames back into pit road as this is now a three-way fight. Scott Lamp to pit road. So the number 2 car is pitting here from the second position. So this is very much a strategy call. We knew we couldn't make it to the end of stage 1. So this is the start of where we're going to see everybody coming down pit road. Flores with a shot to the shorts, courtesy of that Coors Light Mustang. Brogdon in the mix. Frank's got an alcoholic beverage, and he's got an energy drink beverage right behind them, both pressuring that 88 car for position as Holden McGill will duck to pit road. Grant Peterson's in as well, as is Spencer Ray. Let the pit road shenanigans begin. Ames back out on the racetrack, as is Josh McDougall. So McGill, Ray, and Moore are all in. Overlooking that front stretch, here comes Ryan Dingler, the race leaders in a pit road. Baron Morton will pick up the lead as we cross start finish. Now it's battle of who wants to get some laps led on the afternoon. Flores, Brogdon, and Huntley still scrapping it out. Huntley into the outside wall, spinning sideways. Caution flag is out in the middle of pit stops. That is massive for these guys as they'll work their way around. And it just fell apart for Huntley's number 69. Getting hooked into the outside wall, and that was his own doing, if I do say so myself. Flores takes an early bail to pit road. And I think that may have been a fuel issue for Flores. Now the big question is, do these guys have enough to make it around? I think they should have enough. But boy, that was a messy situation there, working out of turn numbers 3 and 4. Take a look as this was working off of the second corner to the backstretch. Huntley just pushes up from the bottom, puts Frank into the wall, and spins out as a result. That was all on the 69, nothing that Frank did wrong. Oh, Frank's tire was broke. That's why he was had to come down to pit road early. He couldn't turn. Right, so Morton is into the pit road. We're going to be seeing everybody that didn't pit initially making stops now. And now it's a battle to see who's going to be stuck a lap down. Baron Morton led the way at the time of caution. He led this field down to pit road. You see a few drivers already poking out from behind. Nobody opting to only take fuel. Morton, first in, first out. Caution flag is out for the second time tonight. You've got under 20 laps to go in stage number 1. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the restart in a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway. 1 lap to green. When we restart, we'll have 15 laps left in stage number 1 from race 8 of the L-TAC All-Street Media Cup Series. Bear Morton led the way at the time of caution. He will be back to the race lead after pit stops. A good chunk of these guys like Scott Lamp and Ryan Dingler, Holden McGill that were leading the race early on have been relegated to the back, courtesy of having pitted a little while earlier than perhaps they should have, as other guys stayed out and waited for that caution that eventually came out. Green flag is back in the air as we thunder back down towards turn 1. Sending it deep into 1 and 2 is Bear Morton. The rest of the field scrapping it out behind as he hightail it off of turn numbers 3 and 4. Whoa, boy, a bunch of cars getting loose. Sean Deal having to pedal it. We're 3-4 wide down the backstretch as we dive into turn numbers 3 and 4. Just able to hang on for a majority of the field, it looks like here, as we'll start to set ourselves up for a good run later on throughout the race in action here tonight. As boy, that got intense early on. You can see Ryan Dingler now trying to work around the outside line to hold him. Oh, and now Souza into the wall. Hang on. The lucky draw driver experiencing troubles out of the second corner. He'll drop to the back. Doesn't look like the damage is too bad. He should get away with that. Not ideal though. Nate Brooker will bail out. He wants nothing to do with this. Kyle Green now sends it around the top. He's going for the race lane to try to put one up on Bear Morton here and go to the point. Morton slides across the nose. Will Cogger go for the switchback? You bet he will! To the inside as Bradford slips back through the field. Kyle Green to the bottom. He'll take the race lead into turns 3 and 4. Kyle Green puts his number 18 car up to the point, but here comes Morton battling back for the race lead now as we cross start finish. Brooker hits pit road. In fact, Brooker off the racetrack as I think he may have spun entering pit road. We'll get to that in a moment here as Kyle Green and Baron Morton continue to duke it out for the race lead. Morton to the inside. Kyle Green up on top. Trying to still go for that lead after about 3 laps of trying now. And they're in a dead heat at the line. Souza now forced into pit road for damage. Morton hangs on for the lead still, but I think Kyle Green might have him here off of turn 2. Kyle Green will officially take the race lead to the point down to the 3 and 4. Here's what happens to Nate Brooker entering pit road. Whoa! Kicked the back end out and spun that thing sideways. I'm willing to bet that was all on downshifting there, as now Flores will make it to pit road, and he'll take Brian Huntley Jr. with him. Hefty damage for the both of them. Morton and Musati will be slinging it out through 3 and 4. Musati trying to take the second spot away. one of the few cars from Badger Race that did not pit under our second caution. As Lamp, McGill, Purcell, Rinkin, and more dogfight through the opening series of corners. Oh, contact! Look out, Gassione! Way to the inside of the racetrack! Hang on to her! And the HendrickCars.com Camaro dives back onto the track in 3, just able to wrestle it under control. Simultaneously, Musani will drive to the point off of turn number 4, less than 10 laps to go, but Green takes it back from the outside. Musati setting up for attempt number 2. Trying to swing at Kyle Green once again and knock him off the top step, but still that 18 car pulling clear from the outside, and I think this time we'll have the spot done into turns 1 and 2. Attempt after attempt, and it's still not over as Musati again to the inside. 3 laps in a row, he's tried this move in a 3 and 4. 3 times in a row it hasn't worked, and it looks like it'll be the same for number 4. Or is it, as Musati finally gets it done? Musati takes the lead for lap 62. Now we'll see Green try to cut back to the bottom and take that spot back, but that inside lane starting to rubber off. Musati will drive well clear from the top. How about Jeffrey Brogdon, Holden McGill running 5th and 6th? As we've got less than 5 laps to go. In fact, we do have 5 laps to go in stage number 1. Drawing to a close, and that's why the aggression is high right now. Scott Lamp will take over 6th. Fair Morton just a moment ago, overtaken by Chris Campbell, and now McGill in the mix as he's trying to work his way up to the point. Kyle Green way out of the racetrack. Are we going to go 3 wide again off of turn 2? Not looking like it this time by. Musati still remains clear with the race lead. 4-3 to go this time by. Morton tracks up out of turn number 4 and nearly runs Campbell into the wall. But again, they're able to keep it off of each other. Morton way up to the outside wall and trying to hang on. Chris Campbell looking to fight it out. Holden McGill slides up across the nose. He'll take over 4th. 2 laps to go. Scott Lamp taking his pay-to-win setup job. Number 2 Mustang to the bottom of 3 and 4. Tracks up across Campbell's nose. Musati begins the final trip around to the opening stage before we aboard the top 10 stage points. Morton still fighting out with Kyle Green as best as he can as they work to the inside of 1 and 2. Musati tags the wall out of 4, or out of the second corner, pardon me, as we work the back straightaway. McGill to the bottom, trying to steal one away from Morton as he'll send it to the inside. Meanwhile, for Musati, he'll track out of turn 4, and Musati takes the stage 1 win. Green 2nd, Morton 3rd, McGill 4th, Lamp 5th. Campbell, Brogdon, Rinkin, Dingler, and Small round out the top 10 for the stage points. And now we just wait for that checkered flag to fall at the end of this 134-lap, 200-mile affair before we award the rest. And I think finally we'll see some calming down here as we pass halfway. Taking a look at spots further down the field, Stefan Purcell. Oh, you might get a spot here and work into the top 10 as Josh Small got into the wall. Although it looks like he may very well have backed out. Oh, trouble, look out. Chris Campbell into the infield grass. The 68 car sliding to the bottom. He'll rejoin just shy of turn 1. No caution. We'll keep it green. Tough break, though, for the 68 Chevrolet. What the heck happened here? Oh, bit of netco contact looked like with Jeffrey Brogdon. Sent him into the outside wall and then right down into the grass. And now we have a yellow flag on the racetrack. So caution is out, and Campbell looking like he may have had a secondary incident. Oh, he did. He spun it around in turn 2. Right, okay, so let's ride on board with Chris Campbell here, and we'll take a look on what happened in the lead up to all of this. On board with the 68 car. This is heading down into turn number 4. Brogdon's on the inside. Right there's the ghost contact. Sends Campbell up into the wall. Did a good job to slow it up and get back into the throttle there. And now he'll try to gas it up. But he's on the flat apron, so car's going to be loose. Oh, got the transition. And that spins Campbell around and brings out caution number 3. Saudi again leading the pack down into pit road. Want to take this moment once again to thank Allstream Media, the title sponsor for the L-TAC Cup Series for season number 5. Allstream Media is a small media platform specializing in photography and live streaming, mainly focused on no prep drag racing, and soon will be expanding to dirt racing, NASCAR, superbikes, and more. Their mission is to provide smaller racing venues with the opportunity for public exposure and to help keep small-town racing circuits and small-town drivers doing the things that they love. Find out more by visiting them at their Facebook page. Link to that is in the description. Austin Gassione jumps Anthony Musadia for the race lead after taking fuel only on the pit stops. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to the L-TAC All-Stream Media Cup Series, coming to the conclusion of our third caution flag. As we will be looking set to once again kick things off from the Kansas Speedway in race number 8 of what has been a thriller so far. Austin Gassion takes the race lead, but he is on a fuel-only strategy. Everyone behind him has taken tires. So that 5 car could very well find himself in a spot of bother here on the restart, as he'll be coming to it with 60 laps to go. Pace cars into pit road. Early launch for the 5 car as we take it back to green. No restart zones in play here, remember, so he's allowed to go as soon as that pace car is down onto the apron. That's a very early jump, and you can tell he was trying to anticipate the gap here from everybody, try to see if he can't blitz clear from the rest of this pack as he'll fire down the back straightaway. Car hard to the ball. Look out as Sean Deal tanks that thing heavily into the outside barrier. And he kept it going straight. Nobody else getting involved, so it looks like he'll be all by himself as he's going to be taking it to pit road. Now Ryan Dingler to the outside wall as Deal's forced into pit road. Spencer Ray and Moore trying to attack up from the top shelf of the racetrack here as they work side by side out of 3 and 4. Gassion continuing to hang on to the race lead, but Kyle Green runs in that number 2 spot. Anthony Musani back in 3rd and beyond as you see a few drivers starting to lose some time as Matt Cherry drops 2 spots in turn 4 alone. Sean Deal leaving pit road after, well, he potentially got a speeding penalty on the way in as well. Was in the box for 43 seconds, so that's effectively a race killer for him. Grant Peterson working to the inside of Matt Cherry, trying to bump him out of the top 10, and he'll do so. Stephen Purcell, Josh Small, also in the mix. Josh McDougall in play as well. How about Rincon? Still working the top of Scott Lamb. Check out the Hornet's Nest as we work down the backstretch. Everybody packed up line astern, just trying to keep it in line with each other. And now way up the road, Austin Gassion under fire by Kyle Green, Musadi and Moore running them down as well. Kyle Green to the inside of Austin Gassion, working out of turn number 4. He'll try to take that one to the bottom of 1 and 2 as we cross the start-finish stretch. Kyle Green to the point at 1 and 2 as Anthony Musani pushes up from the bottom lane. And now Gassion will work to the inside. He'll try to battle back into turn number 3. We are kicking this fight off in earnest here as Kyle Green works out of turn 4, maintains the lead. Now here it comes. Gassion, Musani, and Moore trying to battle back as we dive into turn numbers 1 and 2. Gassion to the inside, holding McGill in the mix with them, and you've got Ryan Dingler now in the fray as well as we drive, and indeed Gassion up the track and nearly runs McGill into the outside wall. Just able to keep it out as Dingler will sleep through for 4th. And now here comes Matt Cherry, Stefan Bursell, Grant Peterson all trying to lunge around with it as well, as we'll go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Peterson in the middle. He is split by Cherry up the top, and Bursell down on the bottom as the 52 car. Going to lose out some time. He'll slip back to 12. As we take 51 laps to go, this race quickly winding down. And no battle settled just yet. Musati trying to attack Kyle Green up to the top side of the racetrack. He'll look to the bottom this time in the 3 and 4. Musati to the inside. Kyle Green up on top. Can Musati keep it off of the wall? He will. Working to the inside as Kyle Green keeps that number 18 Toyota Camry pinned up on the outside line. Musati charging down in the turns 1 and 2. Green up to the top shelf, and he'll maintain the run for the lead as he pulls clear. Kyle Green continuing to lead the way from Musati, from Dingler, from McGill, from Morton, just behind. Scott Lamp and George Rinkin will drift up the track over in 3 and 4. And they're now starting to battle it out for the 7th position as we dive it down in towards turn number 1. Scott Lamp looking strong up on the top side of the racetrack. Remember, he had those problems early on, but he has really been battling back, and he's now well into the top 10. He's trying to work himself up a bit further, but how about Rinkin? Remember, started this race way at the tail end of this field. He started in 19th, and he has been driving his way to the field. He is also very much in contention for our top 10 as he'll go door to door with Scott Lamb. Up the road, Musati attacking again for the race lead into 1 and 2. But Kyle Green, as always, pulls clear, forces Musati back in line. Something happening to George Rinkin as he'll slip further down the field. That allows now Spencer Ray to try to attack Scott Lamb to the inside of the racetrack off of 4. Lamp still looking strong. As this pack continues its big charge out of 1 and 2 to the American Ethanol backstretch. Further up the pack, Kyle Green, Anthony Musati, Ryan Dingler, Holden McGill, Bear Morton. All remain still packed up line of stern. Musati has been relentless on his charges to go to the front of this race. Just hasn't been able to find the way to make this happen yet, though. As he'll once again take it to the inside, down the backstretch. And I think finally we're starting to see him putting down some more pressure here on Kyle Green. Take a look back at what happened to Sean Deal. This was on the restart lap, and this was entering turn number 1. As he, I think, just got loose, overcorrected, and went head on into the outside wall in a big way. You saw Pirog get loose and almost take out Aaron Bradford as well. That was way back on lap 75. And that's why Sean Deal now finds himself 2 laps down after having to come down to take a fast repair. Looks like Musati may have burned all of his equipment up trying to attack Kyle Green as Ryan Dingler will now establish a momentum run around the top side of 3 and 4. Moose down low, Dingler up top, Kyle Green still caught as ever in the fray. 40 laps to go. This time by the line. Ryan Dingler way up, and he's going to have to lift to avoid the outside wall. Lets his teammate Holden McGill through. And Kyle Green looking like he cannot be stopped in his bid to gun for the race lead. We're about halfway through our first fuel window, or through our next fuel window. And at this point, if you pit, you are good to go to the end of this race. So there's a possibility we'll see some drivers try to short pit here, just top it up on fuel and then go to the end. This boy Musati tracking up out of turn 2. Nearly ran Green into the wall that time by, but just able to keep it out. You got Ryan Dingler in the mix and then more. Ay, 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 ay. Dingler up to the top shelf. He'll continue to try to steal away that second spot as we cross out of turn number 4 and work back to the tri-oval. I think Musati's had his chance to go for the lead and it didn't pay off. We'll see what Dingler can make out of all of this. Oh boy, I think he actually got into the back of Kyle Green that time as he checked up way heavily into turns 1 and 2. Lets Musati and Holden McGill back by. Now, granted, Musati with his blinking problems is not helping things here as he's going to continue to try to work to the inside, but it's hard to tell where he's going to be and therefore makes it harder for him to race with. Perfect buffer zone, though, for Kyle Green. All the way throughout the field, you still got drivers trying to scrap it out for positions, but it is very processional elsewhere throughout the grid. All the side-by-side action that you got at the moment, it's right up there in the battle for the lead. Once again, Musati attacking Kyle Green from the bottom of the racetrack. Working down the back straightaway. Can he? Oh, he's actually alongside this time. Into 3 and 4. Could this be the moment? Musati back to the bottom, trying to get around Green, but Green still ripping the top through 3 and 4. And the 49 car down to the low side. I don't think he'll be able to get there. He still has the inside for 1 and 2. We'll see. Tracking low, but he's got to get clear, and in order to get clear, you really have to throw it in, and he's not going to be able to do it. He'll have to tuck back in line. Again, Musati to the bottom. And this time, he might have it here. Throws it in deep, tries to get clear, sweeps up the track. Here comes Kyle Green. Musati into the wall. And Green back to the bottom. Musati went for the Hail Mary, and it doesn't pay off as he'll slam the outside wall. McGill goes through to second. Dingler trying to pick up third. Not going to get there. Kyle Green will retake the lead. Swing and a miss for the 49. Tracking over to McDougall, Brogdon, Rinkin, Campbell, and more. It's another battle that's been starting to pick up over the last little while, and they are working big time into turn numbers 1 and 2. You see McDougall track around the outside, and right there, look at the overspeed that you can get from the outside line, especially from the 15-car of Rincon there. That is the difference that the outside line makes at the inside, and that is why, looking backwards at the point, we've been seeing Anthony Mussatti have such a difficult time trying to overtake the 18-car of Kyle Green. I mean, look at this one here. Look, even mid-corner, look at how much faster the outside line is. Green pulls clear, and McGill's just got nothing on him as they work the backstretch. Mussatti will poke to the inside of McGill, and he'll try to go for second. But I think that's a really good representation right there of just what these guys are up against and why they have not been able to get around that number 18 car as Dingler finds the wall. Frank Flores, by the way, into pit road as we take 30 to go. McGill trying to take the lead away. He'll sweep to the bottom of 3 and 4. I'm not convinced, though, until he fully clears and doesn't side-slap the outside wall with the passenger door. And sure enough, he's going to lose that lead once again by the time they reach turn 1. Here comes Dingler, though, and that could force Kyle Green way up the track, although I'd say that he's been running the outside line all race long, so it's not like it does much for him. And still, Kyle Green able to pull clear. It's not impossible at this point to complete a move from the inside without rubbered in that outside groove is, and it's going to continue to be a thorn in the side of this entire field as we work our way deeper and deeper into the racing action. Frank Flores leaves pit road after being stopped for over a minute. Oh, Dingler and Mussatti at that time by both found the outside wall. And that's going to cost Holden McGill as it compromises his own line. Once again, you do have some of the drivers that are looking to be running close throughout the duration of this field, but, I mean, you take a look at how spread out everybody is in comparison to the group up front, and it's no contest. Oh, McGill might have him here this time by, and he does. Holden McGill finally becomes the first driver to knock Kyle Green off the top step. Take a look on lap 108. Down in the turn number 1, Green finally lifted enough to allow Holden McGill to get in there. And I got a feeling Ryan Dingler's little attempt at overtake as well kind of helped that move take place. Finally, Holden McGill is back to the lead as Kyle Green is bumped off at the top spot. As Dingler and Mussatti both find the outside wall again. George Rincon makes his way into pit road for the driver of the number 15 car. So that's yet another driver that's looking to be stepping out, and that will be for his final pit stop of the afternoon. The big question I have right now is when does the rest of the pack come into pit road? As we look back to Gassion, Cherry, Peterson, a three-way battle. This is for 8th, 9th, and 10th. And even further back, you've got Josh Small, Josh McDougall, Stephen Purcell running nose to tail. Green may very well have used of his equipment as well, as Morton will sweep to the inside of Ryan Dingler, now attacking Holden McGill for the lead. Clears down the back stretch as Green will now take it to the inside of Aaron Morton. Green's usually the one that's the best at saving tires, but I think all of the hard offenses that we've seen from the Badger Racing crew as it really was toppled that 18 car this afternoon at Kansas. Still isn't over though. You've got 23 laps to go. Time may be short. Oh, well, I say that. Grain's just found the outside wall, and that'll drop him down right to 5th. Oh, and Anthony Mussatti, I think, got into the outside wall, which doesn't help matters. And how about Scott Lamb? Scott Lamb has been slowly but surely reeling this group back in as well, as he's going to take it to the inside of 3 and 4, and he'll, oh boy, try to pick off Mussatti. Didn't quite get clear as he had to jump back to the inside. I'm sure he'll get him, though, in 1 and 2, provided Mussatti doesn't go back into the outside wall. Lamp working the bottom lane. Can he find the hole? Ooh, just stable to. Mussatti will cross him over and then drive down in the 3 and 4. Scott Lamp, a relatively new addition to the L-TAC Ultra Media Cup Series roster, has been making a lot of waves in his first couple of outings. He's been a good driver to have around. I mean, he has been putting on the competition and really taking it to the big guns of the L-TAC Racing League and showing why he could be a threat for the title later on in the season if it comes down to it. Scott Lamb trying to pick off Kyle Green, but now he has encountered the same problems that we just saw. First Anthony Mussatti, then Ryan Dingler, then Holden McGill all encounter when they were trying to work around the 18. And now Scott Lamb's got to try to navigate these challenges as well to pick off that 18 car. Whoa, contact once, twice. Heads up as Scott Lamb down to the apron on the back stretch, and he'll lose out to Mussatti. Could lose to Spencer Ray as well. Oh, until Ray goes up and he'll scrape the outside wall. That lets Lamb keep the position. Bit of an argy-bargy there coming out of turn number 2, but a good job on Scott Lamb to keep that car pointing in the right direction. Right now, it's the only side-by-side battle you got on the racetrack. Well, I say that, you have one other, and it's the spot further down here. Now, this is all for the first spot outside of the Lucky Dog, George Rincon fighting out with Devin Pirog. And they are right behind Nate Brooker, a driver we got to talk about quite a bit at the Milwaukee Mile last week, but not able to talk about as much today as Brooker's had a very quiet night. Anthony Mussatti, Scott Lamb, Spencer Ray will now be looking to go for that three-way battle, and contact again will bump Scott Lamb now down to 7th. This is the last race in the opening salvo. So the opening salvo of races here was from the season opener all the way up to this 8th race, and now we look we will look back now, obviously, into the rest of the season, right? Because we have this 1 week break for Thanksgiving. It's a much shorter run, though. We will only have Talladega, North Wilkesboro, and then Rockingham following Thanksgiving. Then we'll take another break for Christmas. So this is the biggest stretch of unbroken races we'll be having all season long. As well, then, of course, get a 4-race shootout to end out the regular series season, and then, of course, the 5 races to close out the season. Ryan Dingler, with 15 laps to go, continues to have the race lead. And Holden McGill not looking like he wants to be giving that one up anytime soon either. Now, Dingler made this pass a while ago for the race lead. We were still enthralled to the battle beforehand, but this was how Ryan Dingler made that overtake for the lead to get around Holden McGill. He drove around the top side of the racetrack about 10 laps ago and got through to the point. "14 laps to go as these battles continue to come to their peak. At this point, I would be expecting these guys to be coming down to pit road within the next 5-10 laps or so. We've already seen a few drivers have to escape to pit road early on. We'll see if it'll be if we'll be seeing the rest come down before the end of this race. Kyle Green still runs in 4th. Scott Lamp just a few spots behind in 6th. And Emerson Musati sandwiched between the two of them up in the top 5. You got Spencer Ray still trying to hang with this battle, but looking like he might be dropping back for a good little while. We'll look back to some of the other battles around the field. You've got, obviously, Josh McDougall, Josh Small, Stephen Purcell, all packed up line astern. A little ways up the road from Ben, you've got Matt Cherry and Jeffrey Brogdon with an impatient Frank Flores just behind. But other than that, it's been a bit of a quiet race as of late. Whoa, as I say that, a bit of contact between Lamp and Musati coming off of that 4th corner allows for Spencer Ray to shoot up into 6th and potentially send a move down the inside of Lamp in a 5th. This battle that we got on screen continues to be the closest and the biggest battle cluster we have on the racetrack. Brian Huntley Jr. Takes it to pit road with 11 laps to go. He was already 1 lap down off cycle, although not by much. So, again, we're expecting these guys to be pitting any lap now for their final stop. Assuming they have to make one, the fuel window can sometimes be a bit iffy. Scott Lamp poking way to the inside, and now lunging one to the inside of Kyle Green, trying to steal away 4th. Can he get there? Not quite. Green will pull clear off of turn 4 through the tri-oval and working down to turn 1. Under 10 laps to go, and as I mentioned, the fuel mileage at 1.5 miles can be very iffy. Some tracks, it's only about 40 to 50 laps. Other tracks, it's 50 plus. It's one of those tracks where it's 50 plus. You wouldn't expect that, though, with how much you are in the throttle at a track like this. 3 wide. Coming around through turns 3 and 4. Spencer Ray backs out from the middle. Under 10 laps to go, though, and this could very well be one of the shorter races we've had on the season. And an easy way to end out the night. Spencer Ray finds the wall in 1. Spencer Ray trying to work with Kyle Green as Kyle Green will now sweep to the outside, and he'll look to get around Grant Peterson. Oh, in trouble! Kyle Green sideways on the back straightaway. Spencer Ray will move to the bottom as well, as that got hairy on the back straightaway, and that will bring out the caution flag. Ryan Dingler picks up the lead with 6 laps to go as we crash on the backstretch. And that could very well send us into overtime. Take a look on what happened here. This was working out of turn numbers 1 and 2. It's Kyle Green having to come together with Spencer Ray. Green found the outside wall. Spencer Ray came up, and they made 3 wide contact. Musati got into the mix as well, and around they go. But that is some fine driving again from both drivers to hang on to those race cars. Dingler's into the pits, and this will be it then for everybody that was looking to have a drive home. And this sets us up for an intense finish, as late race cautions often are. Baron Morton will lead the field out, taking 2 only. Same with Scott Lamb and Holden McGill. All the way back to 5th of Grant Peterson, only taking 2 tires, if any tires. I think Gassion may have taken field only. Mixed call throughout the field. And that's going to mean we are in for one heck of a finish here tonight for the Kansas Speedway. We'll take a jump back, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the L-TAC All-Stream Media Cup Series. It is a Nat green-white checkered. 2 laps will be the distance when we take that green flag. Baron Morton with the lead. Scott Lamp in second. McGill third. Gassion fourth. Ryan Dingler and Grant Peterson round out the first 3 rows. All the way back to Dingler have taken either fuel only or only 2 tires. So this is going to be one heck of a 3-lap dash to close out racing action tonight. Pace car will pull down and into pit road, this time by Baron Morton. Looks set to take us to the green flag. We'll work into the restart zone once again. Green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go. Baron Morton high-does his way. Scott Lamb immediately trying to attack down the inside in the turn number 1. Can't get there. Morton holds the lead as we fire into the 1 and 2, working the back straightaway. The top 3, second through 4th, into the outside wall. A few cars scramble, 3 wide down the back straightaway. And down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. McGill still up on the top. We're keeping it clean and green as we fired off of turn numbers 3 and 4. A couple cars getting close, but we'll take the white flag with no problems. Baron Morton still has that race lead. 1.5 miles left of racing to go. Morton has the inside. McGill trying to attack from the top. Behind, Gassion being squeezed up by Scott Lamb right to the wall as you work out at turn numbers 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Scott Lamb not giving Gassion any room to work with. Meanwhile, up front, Holden McGill to the inside of Aaron Morton, going for the lead off of turn number 4, side by side, as they drag race to the start-finish line. But Barrett Morton will hang on to take the race win from the Kansas Speedway by 51 thou. What an incredible finish as we work across the start-finish stretch. Take a look one more time as Holden McGill got the drive on Barrett Morton, but it just was not enough to go for the race win as the number 9 car held on. Oh boy. What an incredible way to close out a thrilling race tonight. Barrett Morton he'll wreck it into the wall first, but he'll get the chance to burn it down on the front straightaway now after surviving a thrilling natural green-white checkered finish. As he celebrates on the front stretch, we'll take a rundown of your official post-race results here tonight from the Kansas Speedway, where it was Barrett Morton to take the win by just the slimmest of margins. Holden McGill picks up the number 2 spot with Scott Lamb finishing out the podium. Ozzie Gassion was in 4th with Graham Peterson in 5th. Spencer Ray was in 6th. Jeffrey Brogdon 7th. Josh Small in 8th. Kyle Green was 9th. Ryan Dingler rounded out the top 10. Anthony Musano was down to the 11th with Josh McDougall with Chris Campbell in 12th. Josh McDougall was in 13th with the likes of Matt Cherry in 14th. Steph Purcell was 15th. George Rincon was 16th. Aaron Bradford and Justin Wilson rounded out the top 18 drivers. And then moving on down from there, you had the likes of Jeffrey Souza, Devin Pirog, Sean Deal, Nathaniel Ames, Brian Huntley Jr., Frank Flores, and Nate Brooker to round out your 25-car field here tonight. What an amazing battle we had in the closing stages there. That was one for the ages, and we'll get the chance now to talk to everybody here at the end of what ended up being a wild night of racing. And of course, we will we'll look to kick things off first with your race winner, Barrett Morton, if we can find him and get a hold of him here. As Morton, a driver that is very frequently, he tends to run more towards the mid-pack, but boy, did he ever finish this race off in style here tonight, as the driver of the number 9 car will drive this one home and take up the race win. Barrett, good to have you up here once again. We don't often see you on the top step, but it is oh so special whenever that 9 car is there.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of speechless, to be completely honest. Right before this race started, I chose to run, the foundation we've got for my daughter with Riley's Roses, and it's kind of, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's a game and stuff, and we have good time on here, we hang out, but this one's a little emotional for me. I'm not gonna lie.
You mentioned, of course, breaking down the foundation car instead of the Spearcrest digital colors. I know, obviously, that's been a big thing for you in the past. Kind of talk to us a little bit about Riley's Roses there.
Yeah, so it's just pretty much it's a group we've got together. It's a team for a cystic fibrosis walk that we do every year, and you can donate to it. You'll start to hear more about it beginning of the season. That happens in May. So it's just something we are blessed to have a kid that has it, and fighting through it every day. But other than that, she's doing fantastic, and thanks to the people that give, that she's allowed to have a normal life.
This is, of course, as you mentioned, a huge win for you. It is the first win that you were able to take in the L-TAC All-Street Media Cup Series, so that in of itself comes with, no doubt, some big praises as well. Looking forward, we have the 1-week break. Talladega, though, comes up next when we return after Thanksgiving. Do you want to kind of talk us through what the plan's going to be to see if you can't maybe go back-to-back?
I mean, I'll try. I just got to be there at the end, but I don't know. It just kind of hits me some of the best of the best in this race. Holden, Ryan, Spencer, Grant, Austin, Scott, just into cross the line in front of them was, I don't know, kind of unbelievable. I think it was. I feel bad for Ryan. I think he was one to beat tonight, but it is what it is. It's racing. Things happen, and the 2-tire strategy at the end kind of always my go-to in tracks like this, and just kind of being up front, putting myself in positions. The way the caution fell right before I was going to pit, it just tonight was my night, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we'll hopefully see if it can be your night as well 2 weeks from now. Congratulations on that first precious win. We'll see you when we go racing 2 weeks from now at Dega.
All right, I appreciate it, Noah, and have a good Thanksgiving, buddy.
That was Bear Morton joining us up here after that one, and we'll move things on down now to the likes of Holden McGill, the driver that tried to drag him out down off of turn number 4, coming down to the checkered flag, but finishes runner-up. But Holden, a good race as always from that 21 machine, and no doubt you're going to be able to extend that points lead after this night.
Yeah, but it'd be better if I'd won.
We'll kind of walk through us through this race because, boy, fighting with Kyle Green must have been a big challenge. I mean, try. All of your teammates did. First Musati, then Dingler, then you were the third driver to take a swing at it and then finally make it work after about 10 laps. What was it about that inside lane that just caused the pace to drop off tonight?
I'm not really sure. I felt like the inside at some point was kind of helping save the tire, just slowing down, I guess. But that last long run, I was more just trying to let Moose and Ryan fight with him. Me and Barrett were just kind of hanging around, just waiting, because, I mean, we still had a ton of race left at that point. And then just kind of let them wear each other out. And then when it got to be time and and the pack was coming back to us, it ended up being me and Ryan just decided to take off. And I just ended up being the second car in line, which nothing good's going to happen when you have dirty air. So that's pretty much what happened. And then the last restart gave me another shot and still couldn't get it done. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Overall, it's a solid night. We have the 1 week break, and we'll return once again with our second plate race of the season. What's it going to be like when we go racing at Talladega for that number 21?
Hopefully a win, but who knows when it's Talladega. You never know what you're going to get with that one.
Fair enough. We'll let you get back down to celebrating. Congratulations on that number 2 position, and we'll wish you the best of luck then when we go racing in Alabama 2 weeks from now.
All right. We don't celebrate P2s, though.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully it'll be a race win then at that point next week. That was Holden McGill joining us up here from the number 2 spot on the podium. We'll move things on down to Scott Lamb, the driver that's been making a lot of noise for being such a new driver here to the L-TAC All Street Media Cup Series. But it's another podium for you, Scott, as you're able to drive that number 2 car home and into a third-place finish here tonight for Kansas.
Yeah, it was fun. I was just I don't think I was a third place car most of the race, if I'm being honest.
I mean, overall, it was a bit of a midfield battle, but I think that last caution definitely helped you get up there to the front and was able to fight it out for the last few positions. You were among one of the several drivers that opted to only take 2 tires. What was it? Was it just a case of not wanting to wait for the other tires to get up to temperature that contributed to that 2-tire stop there with 2 to go?
The 2 tire, I knew I don't know, I think I went in like 5th, and I wanted to see if I could get the lead. I knew if I could get the lead, I could probably hold on to it. But obviously that didn't happen. I didn't get a great restart, and then decided to knock the wall down coming out of 2. So the goal was to try to get the lead.
And of course, when we go racing 2 weeks from now, because we have that 1 week break for Thanksgiving, it'll be, of course, the Talladega Super Speedway, a track that is also important when it comes to the teammate battles. You've got a good, strong team behind you, though. We expect to see that 2 car fighting for a race win then next week?
Oh yeah, there's a few of us. Me, Holden, Anthony, and Ryan. We've drafted with each other before, and I'm expecting good results at Talladega. Honestly, we work together well, and hopefully we can keep it up front.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to it. Congratulations once again on the 3rd place finish, and we'll see if you can follow it up with a race win 2 weeks from now. Scott Lamb joining us up here from the final podium position up here tonight. And with that, that is going to be about it then for our coverage here tonight from the L-TAC All Street Media Cup Series. Once again, it does not disappoint for the Friday night series with a race full of action, one of the cleanest races we've had all season long. And boy, it is going to be something. We have a 1 week break for Thanksgiving. We're back at the Talladega Super Speedway 2 weeks from now. But if you want to get your pack racing action on, don't worry, you've got the TNGG IEL Super Speedway Blitz coming on up on Saturday night when they'll be set to go racing for round number 2 at the Auto Club Speedway. Monday night, the High Tide Racing League MF Racing MF Racing Designs Cup Series will return on Monday nights for their final race of the round of 16. We'll eliminate 4 after our trip around the Darlington Speedway. For now, though, from the Kansas Speedway, about time that I say farewell. My name is Benola Rambo. You've been watching the L-TAC All Street Media Cup Series on Green Flag TV on a beautiful Friday night. We'll see you all next week, or well, more in 2 weeks, when we get set to go racing at the biggest, baddest track on the calendar.